Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with an updated deck profile for June 2016, and today I'll be showing you guys my barrier statue deck. So starting off with the monsters, we have the triple Fossil Dyna, the triple barrier statue of the Drought, then finally the one Inferno. So I changed up the ratio of the barrier statues a bit. One of the biggest reasons for it is because if you have a barrier statue of the Drought on board and a Fossil Dyna in graveyard, you actually can bring back Fossil Dyna off of Powerful Rebirth, which actually came up a good bit in testing. There's also a spell card that you'll see here in a minute that actually works very well with Drought and Fossil Dyna. Plus, Earth is an element that you won't really see too much in the meta. I mean, there are Cleave Forts that can Pendulum Summon occasionally, but they don't really care too much about that. Some of the Draco Pal monsters are Earth, but for the most part, the Earth Barrier statue puts down a pretty good lockdown on most relevant decks. Same for the Inferno, not really an element that you'll really have to worry about seeing too much. So that's it for monsters. For spells, we have the triple card Demise, triple Pod Duality, the 1 day of peace, and the 1 Upstart for our draw cards. Next, we have the triple Moon Mirror Shield. Obviously, this is for making sure that our monsters basically can't be beaten in battle. And then the fact that it recycles itself when it goes to graveyard by paying 500 is really, really good. The only ever equipped spell that I've considered playing with this deck would be Mage Power, just because it's kind of funny to think about like a Fossil Dyna or a Barrier Statue with upwards of 3,000 extra attack with Mage Power, but just do keep in mind that Honest does get over that and it's not recyclable, which is why I personally like the Moon Mirror Shield over Mage Power. Then for one-of spells, we have the 1 Regeki, the 1 Silvori Kalkos, and then for the new spell, we have the 1 Gaia Power. So this is a really old field spell from back in the day. I actually remember playing this in the really old Yu-Gi-Oh games, with an Earth deck, and it actually being pretty broken back in the day. Just being able to give any Earth monster on the field an extra 500 attack, puts Fossil Dyna up to 17, puts Barrier Statue of the Drought up to 1500, and the important thing is that as a field spell, it gives you the ability to actually get a card out of your hand and more easily be able to abuse card Demise without having as much of its drawbacks at the end phase. So that's it for spells. For traps, we have the Triple Dark Bribe for protecting our Fossil Dynas and Barrier Statues from any spell and trap cards. Next, we have the free Phantomknight Sword. This is in place of the Safe Zone. Biggest problem I found with Safe Zone in testing is that basically you just need an answer to Safe Zone to answer the monster, which was kind of a problem. With Sword, you basically, unless you have something that's non-destruction, you have to get over the Sword and then get over the monster to be able, to get that monster off the board and be able to Spell Summon again. Plus the 800 boost is really fantastic. Putting Fossil Dyna up to 2,000, putting the Barrier Statues up to 1.8 is really, really strong. And then you combine that with Gaia Power or Seal, puts Fossil Dyna up to 2.5 or the Barrier Statue up to 2.3, which is really, really strong. Next, we have the triple Powerful Rebirth. I did get my hands on the third foil, so we have the whole playset super here. This is basically to give us, make it to where we have 10 monsters, and we're just able to always have a monster on board to lock out our opponent. Then we have the triple Solemn Strike for negating those effects, and then if we don't have a Barrier Statue on board, negating like special summons. Then we have the triple Soaring Mirror Force to protect them from battle. It's also really good being able to get over floaters or things that can't be destroyed, just bounce it back to hand. It especially can put the opponent back a turn or two, considering how much this deck slows down the pace of the game. Then for one-up traps, we have the 1 Bottomless, the 1 Compulse, the 1 Rain Destruction, and then finally the 1 Solemn Warning. I will say really quickly that the only thing I've considered changing with the trap lineup was possibly adding in a Phantomknight Wings. What Wings does is it gives your monster a permanent 500 attack buff, and then once that turn, if it were to be destroyed by battle or card effect, it won't be. So the one benefit it has over, say, Sword is that you can't you can MST it and then you can chain Wings and it'll protect it for that turn. But with Sword, it gives it 300 more attack, and it also protects it from 1 destruction permanently, whereas with Wings it's only for the turn. And honestly, I just didn't really feel like taking out the one-of removal cards, the Bottomless, Compulse, or Ring, just because they're really good in a deck like this that just slows down the pace so much. And getting rid of one monster, just one monster, can be really, really strong and help you win the game in some situations. So that's it for the main deck. Total of 40 cards. It's 7 monsters, 14 spells, and 19 traps. Of course, no extra deck for this. So let's move on to the side deck. So starting off, we have the two Banishes of Radiance, mostly here for the Brilliant Abyss and PK Fire matchup. They do have some graveyard effects that could possibly get around your Fossil Dyna and the barrier statues, so Banisher is just really good for keeping those from getting into the graveyard. And it's a really hard monster for them to get over, especially when you have it with Sword and, say, Sealbori Calcos. Next, we have the two Archfiend Eccentric, just as a MST that we can dump out of our hand for Demise. Then we have the triple MST to get rid of annoying back row. Next, we have the two System Down. This is for the Cosmo matchup if we're going second. If they know what you're playing, they're basically forced into a position to where they'll have to tag out before your main phase into a ship, or else if you summon a Barrier Statue or Fossil Dyna, they can't tag out, obviously. So it forces them into a position to make a big ship, then you can System Down it to banish it. It's especially good if they open up a tin can play, because they'll tin can probably two ships in the graveyard, get a ship into the hand, and then tag out into a ship. So with System Down, with that play, you'll basically have banished 3 of their ships from the game, which is really powerful. Next, we have the triple Mask of Restrict for the Monarch matchup. The 2 Chaos Trap Hole also for the Monarch matchup, since return gets around Solemn Strike. And then for the final side card, we have the 1 Soul Drain. So that's it for this updated deck profile for Barrier Statues. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to check out the second action, I'll leave a link in the description below to a duel video between myself using Barrier Statues and Jake White from Galaxy Games using Blackwings. So yeah, do feel free to check that out. And I will catch you guys next time.